if you're wondering why the lie, if you're wondering why they have to lie about the shape of the earth, the timeline that these buildings were built in, if you're wondering why they have to lie about our history, it's to keep you away from God, to keep you away from the truth, to make you think that you're just a minuscule little dot in the infinite cosmos, when really there's a purpose to the world and there's a purpose to you. There's a reason that God put you on this earth. You need to find your connection with God to understand how we got here, how we got to where we're at today, how many lies you've been told throughout your entire life to lead you to the reality that you're in now. I'm not trying to insult you and saying that you fell for some grand scheme, but there is a grand scheme going on that is fooling the masses, fooling most people that you see around you. And most people you see online that are very eager to cause problems, eager to fight online, that's not the real reality of this world. The real reality of this world is your neighbor, most people around you are good people. There's bad apples everywhere. There's bad apples in every city, every country, but for the most part, this world is created by God. We are children of God. We are good. We have good in our hearts, mainly, the majority of us, but there are some bad apples, and those bad apples rise to positions of power, rise to control over all the good people of this world. The good people are just chilling, fucking taking it easy, and then the followers of Lucifer, the dark ones in this world, they rise to power. They hold positions of power over us. As soon as we're born, we have to register to a corporation. This world should be free for the children of the world, but it's owned and run by a small group of people, a small minority. And they're trying to hide God from you. They're trying to hide the light from you. But I'm trying my best to show you the light, show you the truth, show you Tartaria, the old world. I believe we're in Satan's little season. If you haven't heard about what Satan's little season is, it is the millennial reign of Christ. The 1,000-year reign of Christ is behind us. The rapture has occurred. Jesus has come back. Jesus has risen. Jesus has come back. He has taken his followers to heaven to live life eternally, or to whatever heaven is. I don't know what heaven is. I don't know anything. I'm just a guy here, but Jesus has taken his followers back to heaven, and we are living in the remnants of, we are living in the we are living in the future. We are living in their future. In the past, these followers have already risen. These followers have already went with Jesus, but we are the ones that have been given a second chance in this life, have been given a second chance to prove that we are worthy of heaven, prove that we are worthy of eternal life, eternal glory. And how we got here, I believe that just as there is a purgatory before heaven, there's a waiting room before you get to heaven, there is also a waiting room before you get to hell, and it is not as bad as hell, obviously, but it's still a waiting room nonetheless, and it's still dark, and you do not want to be there. And I believe that the people that are on this earth now were all in that waiting room at one point, going on their way to hell. That is original sin. That is, we all have original sin in us. It is the original sin of our past. And if we are in this waiting room for hell, we're going to obviously not want to be there. And we're going to, if God asks us, like, do you want a second chance? Obviously, we're all going to want a second chance to prove that we're worthy, to prove that we don't belong in hell. And he had to wipe our minds clean, give us a clean slate to prove that we really are worthy of a second chance, ready to learn, ready to shine ready to be the light in this world, not be the darkness, not trying to join the dark side. And through our actions this go around, this is the real final chance. This is the last straw. This is our only hope. The actions that you take in this world today are really, there's no second chances after this. This is it. You're either going to live eternally in heaven or hell, I believe. I believe that this is just a show. This is just a test by God to prove that you are worthy of being with Him, being a child of God, not wasting this earth, not wasting this life that you've been given. And these old buildings of Tartaria, just specifically in the United States, from what I'm sure there's Tartarian buildings all over the globe. I've seen them, but specifically my research has led me into the United States because that's where I'm from. I've seen so many Tartarian old world buildings in every city. It takes one inconsistency in the narrative for you to realize that, like, maybe I should look into this. And then if you start looking into the narratives of every city all over the United States, you can see clearly it's his story. It is not real. It is a story written to further free Masonic ideas, further their Freemasonic agenda, and make us feel minuscule, make us not see that there was a true reign of Christ, 1,000-year reign of Christ where there was free energy, free healing vibrations that were put out by old world tech that we can't comprehend. This old world tech that they use to create these magnificent buildings that we could never replicate today. The woodworking on some of these old world mansions, the interior of some of these old world mansions would take years, and then the timelines that were given in before 1900 and late 19th century, these people are building giant old world giant mansions, Victorian mansions, and just the interiors are just impossible, and they'll give them 1 to 2 year timelines. Nowadays, building something like that just, let alone just coming up with the blueprints for such an idea, take 2 years, let alone building and actually putting the team together and getting the work done. None of the timelines in any of these cities add up. The population growth in every city, everything after the Civil War is just, everything during the Civil War is just nonsense, but everything after the Civil War, the timelines just really get very fishy, and don't even get me started on the World's Fairs. The World's Fairs in St. Louis and Chicago, the timelines of those just do not add up at all. That's where my research started, was the World's Fairs. Whenever you find out that their timelines just do not add up at all, how they could put these World's Fairs together with over 100 just giant buildings. They could build all of them in less than 2 years. I don't believe it. I don't believe the narrative for 1 second. And if you look into the people that recorded this history, if you look into there's a very few people that recorded down all this history, and specifically the history of the World's Fairs, and the purpose of them was just recorded by one guy. And if you look into his history, it seems like there is a narrative. There's a reason he's trying to push the narrative that these are just fairs, these are just exhibitions, these are not old world buildings. It's tough. He's a Freemason. These Freemasons run the world, basically. These Freemasons are trying to control over you. They are trying to own you. They're trying to own you and everything you do. They're trying to take the resources from you and the others, your coworkers, your friends, your family. They're trying to take your resources and put it into their pocket. They do not think of you as worthy. They do not think of you as... They have no care for you at all. They have gotten rid of their care for you. They don't look at you as human. They just look at you as money, basically. They're trying to get money from you, and they're trying to have the general population stray farther from God. That's why there's so many. You can see so many examples of how they're trying to get you to stray farther from God. Stray you farther from the truth. They're trying to hide the truth from you, and on Reddit especially, it's just infiltrated with the bots. You can't get any information that would question the historical narrative as being any subreddit that questions the historical narratives being infiltrated with the bots, trying to make you feel crazy, make you think that you don't know what you're talking about. Whenever you're connecting the dots, you see what's going on in the world around you, but then they have these bots. It's confirmed, by the way, people. It's confirmed there's bots on Reddit specifically. I know it's on Twitter. I know it's on other websites, but specifically Reddit is where I like to do a lot of research, and it's good to know that the U.S. government has bots on Reddit trying to control narratives, trying to control you from accessing information, trying to make you think that you're crazy for connecting the dots on certain situations, like the millennial reign of Christ, like Satan's little season, like Tartaria. They're trying to wipe the history books of Tartaria. They're trying to wipe the history books of these. That's why so many of these buildings have been demolished. They're trying to get rid of our history, trying to make you feel minuscule. They're trying to push space. They're trying to push space is expanding. It's ever expanding. It's infinite. It's fucking going. It's expanding at 1 billion miles a fucking minute. Whatever the fuck they'll tell you. It's horseshit. None of these moon landings are real. We're not getting past the fucking radiation belt. We're not getting through that radiation and that severe side effects. No one's made it to the moon. It's all fucking a cap. It's all fucking sorcery. No one's going to space, people. The Earth might not even be fucking round. There might be a fucking ice wall that they're stopping us from going to Antarctica. There's a reason they're stopping us from going to Antarctica. There's an ice wall up there. They're fucking hiding information. Every war we've ever been in has been about resources, and it's been about land. Wouldn't it make sense for them to monopolize land and monopolize resources and only keep us in this small section? No, we need to protect the penguins. We don't want to fuck up the ice up there too much. We got to protect the penguins and protect the ice. We don't want to fuck that shit up. That's why you can't go up there. Mr. Beast definitely went up there. Just watch this Mr. Beast video. That's Antarctica, folks. Just a bunch of ice up there. Nothing else. God said himself in the in the Bible, fucking 4 corners of the earth. I don't know if the earth's flat. I don't know if the earth's round. I've never seen it myself, but every time they're trying to tell you the earth's round, it's a fucking fisheye lens showing you the horizon. It's never showing you fucking just unbiased earth. I heard a story of a sailor sailing from one side of one of the lakes up there. I don't know if it's Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, I don't know which one, but you could see Chicago only on like a couple days out of the year. You could see Chicago from fucking 50 miles away, 75 miles away, whatever it was, from one side of the bay, from one bay to the other. And you could set up a camera and sail from one side of the lake to the other, and it would just be perfectly in line at the same spot on Chicago skyline the whole way there. It would show that there was no curvature of the earth at all. It would show that it was a completely flat line all the way there. And it sounded believable to me. I never saw the video myself, but I've seen other examples that would lead me to believe that the earth is flat. I can't say for certain, but it would make sense for them to monopolize this land, these resources. It would make sense for them to not want us to see Antarctica if there was an ice wall there. But Tartaria and Satan's little season, I don't know how I can really show you that they tie together, but this old world technology that we no longer have, and these old world buildings that cannot be built today in the same amount of time, it would take years to do what these people have done in a year. it would take so long today with much more advanced materials. We're supposedly getting more advanced, but these people just did crazy things back then in the 19th century with very limited materials. And they spared no expense as well on the interior and the exterior of the buildings. They spent so much time on making it look good and not just staying alive, not making money, not they're spending so much time almost like they could do it easily, like they could do it with some type of. This is how I believe that the pyramids were made, is some kind of frequency, like some type of vibration moving carving technology. Like, I believe they use sound to make the pyramids. That's why it's so symmetrical. That's why the cuts are so clean. That's how they carried it such long distances. They used vibrations or sound. It's a technology we can't comprehend. The pyramids are obviously much longer. They've been here for who knows how long, but these buildings in the United States, they've been here for hundreds of years, but then they'll only tell us that they've been here since fucking 1900. And the timelines just don't add up for any of these buildings all over every city, all across the U.S. Not every city, but the big ones. Chicago, St. Louis, New York City, Galveston, El Paso, Duluth, Minnesota. If you look into Duluth, Minnesota, some of the buildings there are just laughable. And it's not just the United States. In Connecticut, or in Canada as well, like there's cities as well where the timelines do not add up. These buildings. I forgot to mention that in the Tartaria, in the Satan's Little Season scenario, in the theory, where it all started was where you have to include the mud floods as well, and you have to include a cataclysm that wiped out a large majority of the population. So at the same time as the rapture, maybe, or around the same time as the rapture, there was a mud flood that we had to dig ourselves out of that covered up some of these buildings, and there was a great cataclysm, a great event, a great weather event that changed the earth, changed the layout, changed how we were living our lives. And then we had to rebuild from there. Not rebuild, but recreate a civilization. And founded. These buildings were founded, is what they always say. It's just the past tense of found. They're trying to tell us when they found these buildings. We did not build them, we founded them. The narrative that the Department of Education gives us is just laughable when you really try to break it down. You just find one inconsistency in their narrative, and then that just breaks it down completely, and then you can start seeing other buildings that just do not fit the narrative at all, and other cities that don't fit the narrative. And you see that all over the United States and all over North America there's cities that don't fit the narrative, and it makes you question why they're hiding it. They're trying to make you feel minuscule. They're trying to stray you away from God. They're trying to stray you away from the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know what you can truly do with God's power, with God's light. Your music, your movies, they're all trying to dissuade you from believing in God, from trusting in Him, from trusting in the abilities that He's given you. He's given you abilities in this life to do great things, and you're not using them because you're being manipulated so heavily through the media and through social media and through entertainment and through politics. They're trying to keep you from experiencing your full potential. They're trying to limit your human potential. They're trying to stunt your human infinity. you can do great things, and you need to unplug from the matrix and you need to reset what you know about this life, what you know about this reality, and look for knowledge. Be on a quest for knowledge. Be on a quest for the truth. Old World Exploration and John Levi are some of my favorite channels on this topic, but Going Postal, I think, is a great one as well. If you haven't fucking ever heard about me before until this video, I'm going balls deep on Tartaria. I'm going balls deep on the old world. I'm going to try my best to explain Satan's little season, how we got here today, where we are today, what we're doing, what to do from here, what to do in the future. I'm trying my best to only share the truth. I won't get everything wrong, or I won't get everything right. Obviously, I'm just a man. I'm just a man doing my best here. But I promise you, I'm on a quest for knowledge and a quest for the truth, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to stay up doing the research. I'm willing to do research on my lunch break, whatever it takes to find knowledge for you guys, find the truth for you. These rulers have gotten away with it for too long. They fucking shot JFK in the head. They fucking destroyed the Twin Towers. They've done so many things to us. They've continued to rule over us by not letting us know the truth. And knowledge is power. That's why they need to stop us from having it. They hold the power. We need to take our power back. We have been ruled over for too long. I'm not saying we need to go fucking have another civil war. Like, a war isn't going to solve anything, but wake up your neighbor. Wake up. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help you have the knowledge that I've acquired. Help you make connections yourself. You can start seeing the connections yourself by looking into these cities. Old World Exploration has done some great work on these cities. And how do these cities grow so fast? Like, these cities will go from 3,000 to 30,000 in just fucking 10 years. Like, these cities, the entire United States has gained population so fast all throughout these cities, and orphan trains is another part of the Tartaria conspiracy. There were so many orphans. There was, some would even say, incubator babies, maybe. Like, the only way there were so many orphans is incubator babies. How did we all get here? How did so many people get here? Where did we all come from? So what did I try to tell you guys in this video today? I tried to tell you to seek the truth. I tried to tell you that the narrative that you've been given of your history has fabrications in it, has falsehoods, they do not care about the truth. They do not care if you know the truth. They care about you going to work, producing your part of the GDP. That's all they care about in this capitalism hellhole that we live in. We're slaves, and we don't even know it. Most of us don't even realize that we're slaves, that we're slaving away for pennies while our rulers go on yachts, go on vacations every week, every month. They rule over us. They siphon resources to their own pockets through our work. And I'm tired of it here in Going Postal. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the dead people. The people that they're willing to kill to maintain power. They're overthrowing fucking democracies. They're tampering with elections. People in the United States say the most important thing is a fucking free democracy, and they care about votings, but they don't care about the scam going on in our own country. Our own elections that are in the United States aren't even real, let alone all these other countries where The CIA is fucking killing people. Any sign that a country is doing good, any sign that a country is doing good economically without the United States help, that ruler will just then be killed, be overthrown by CIA-backed militias that they train in these countries to overthrow. Then that the CIA just puts in their own people to maintain their global mafia that they have over all these countries. That's why all these countries' currencies are failing, is because it's a dollar milkshake theory. The dollar is going to be the last one to go. All these countries' currencies are failing and just being destroyed by inflation because the dollar is the reserve currency, the one that backs them all. Our dollar will be the last one to go, and whenever the dollar goes, it's going to be hell. All hell is going to break loose. It's the end game, folks, and I hope you have physical precious metals. I hope you do whenever the end game comes. You're going to want them in your possession because people are going to be killing over them. Our money won't have any value anymore. It'll just be paper. Wiping your ass with this currency, with this dollar bill, will be worth more to you than what you can actually spend it with. Your dollar bill is worth nothing anymore, but just imagine after the end game happens. Fucking Fallout bottle caps, people. I don't know if you've seen Fallout or played the video games, but after the end times, something else has to take over. The dollar will be no longer. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom because I believe that this life really is great. I really do have a great life. I'm happy with where my life is. Just because I'm in Satan's little season right now doesn't mean that God isn't in my life. I know God. I talk to God. I challenge you to talk to God yourself because He really is shining light towards the truth. And if you pray to Him that you find the truth, I know you'll get closer than you have been if you haven't been praying to Him already. You need someone in your corner. You need someone in your corner telling you that it's going to be all right, telling you that you can do it, telling you that you're not crazy, you can find the truth. And all the bullshit, the propaganda, the nonsense, the schizophrenia, all that you have to search through in order to find the truth, you can find it. You can prove that these rulers are ruling over you with ill intentions. They're malevolent. These secret societies should be no longer. They should be brought to light. Their intentions are evil. They're ruled by Satan. They worship Satan. They worship the Dark One. That's why they commit these sick acts. They are trying to divorce themselves from God. They're divorcing themselves from God, showing Satan what they were willing to do for him. They're trying to worship Satan for things now in this temporary life. They're for material goods in this temporary life, for fame, for fortune. I don't care about that. I care about eternal life in heaven. But these people will sell their souls just for 10 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame. That soul is valuable, folks. I challenge you to never sell it, because when you do, there's no going back. There's no getting out of that contract. You made your bed, you're going to have to lay in it. Satan's little season, in my opinion, I don't know. I haven't seen many people talk about it, but it seems like a new theory to me. I have not seen many people talking about this. It seems fresh, so if you have a take on it, please let me know in the comments, because I'm willing to learn. It's interesting me a lot right now. It's taking up a lot of my time researching this little season. Tartaria has always been on my mind. It's been on my mind the past couple years. That's been going around a while, and something I've noticed, I don't know if anyone else has, but they're using AI to recreate construction photos of some of these buildings. If you've looked in the past and tried to find construction photos of these buildings, you can't find any, but then they're just popping up out of nowhere, it seems, through the use of AI. If you run some of these pictures that test to see if a photo has been made by AI or not, it seems like they have been. And I don't know who is doing that, but their lie cannot be contained for much longer. In history, why do they never tell us in the United States about these World's Fairs? No one ever mentioned these World's Fairs at all. No one ever showed this great architecture in any of our history books. This great architecture has never been discussed thoroughly. It was made during the millennial reign of Christ. It was made by angels. It was made by people who had power given to them by angels. It was made through the worshipers of Christ. Satan is going to try to stray you from God. Satan is going to try to lead you down dark paths in this world, but I challenge you to always be striving to do great things, striving to go towards the light. I challenge you to be a great example to your friends and family, a great example of Christ's children. We're all God's children here. We're all given this life, given this world to experience, and they can't take that away from us. This government is not made to rule over us. The government is made to serve the people. We are over the government. We just don't know it. You need to change your reality and how you view the government. They are not made to rule over us. They're only here to benefit us, to maintain society. These taxes are out of control. This inflation is out of control. This economic system is not going to work much longer. I'm not trying to wish that we have economic collapse, but the signs that I'm seeing are not looking good. I may be early, but I'm not wrong. The dollar will be no longer like gold and silver. Physical precious metals will be incredibly valuable. Bitcoin, if we actually can maintain a internet grid after the end game, it will be valuable as well, but the United States dollar is going to be worthless. Zimbabwe bucks. They're crashing currencies all over the globe to maintain fat cats' bank accounts in the United States and in other countries. It's not just, people will try to say that it's just a Jewish conspiracy or it's just a Chinese conspiracy. It's not that. It's a Luciferian conspiracy. It is people who worship Satan for material goods now and sell their eternal life in heaven for it, sell their soul. Spread the word, spread the truth to your friends and family. Don't be afraid of sounding crazy. I'm not afraid of sounding crazy anymore. I'm on a quest for the truth, and I'm willing to spread it as much as I can. I want anybody who's listening, anybody who's still listening at this point, thank you, because you're helping me spread my message. I'm not going to stop doing this until I've made an impact on this world. I really want to make an impact on this world and help guide people towards the truth. I love you all and have a great day.